And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Here Be Dragons, where creativity meets courage and dragons live in the art we create and the lives we lead. I'm Carla Morrow of DragonLady Art, and with me is my co-pilot and dragon rider extraordinaire,
Alan Childers of Alan Childers Art and Illustration. We're here to talk about the dragons we face, the treasure we're after, and the wondrously weird journey of life. Every episode will explore what it takes to face your dragons and maybe even ride one.
So grab your shields, sharpen your claws, and let's dive in today because we're asking the question that matters most. What dragons are you facing? Hello.
Hello.
We have a guest.
We're here with, your art name is Woody Woodward?
Yes, sir.
Correct? All right. And can you introduce yourselves to our audience and tell them who you are, where they can find you, and what your relationship with art is?
Sure. So, hey guys, as he said, my name is Woody Woodward. I'm a fantasy illustrator and muralist. You can find me, and just for the sake of, since my name is so long, I will just give you my Instagram, which is at woody-woodward.art. You can find me there, and then from there you can see all my other links.
Perfect.
Yep.
What is your relationship as far as like your history with art? Like, how did you where did you learn art, or like how did you get into art?
Sure. So I'm actually sitting in the very house that I got introduced art to. My grandfather was a cartoonist. He wasn't a professional one, but he worked for U.S. Steel for several decades, and but he did do like cartoons for their safety manual, a particular one named Haphazard, which is a lot of fun. He had a very mad magazine style of cartooning.
Oh, so cool.
I love that. Yeah,
and it was a lot of fun. And our styles ended up becoming very different over the years because he had a very because when he painted, it was almost like the Bob Ross style of painting. You know, it had a very unique look about it, very atmospheric, but also very graphic, 90 kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Whereas mine became more painterly and more like Caravaggio with the strong light, stuff like that. But yeah, it's he's the baseline for my art life, honestly.
Awesome, that's really cool. Well, one of the questions that we ask on Here Be Dragons, we ask this of all of our guests, is what dragons are you facing? Is there any trials that you've been kind of facing preventing art, or have you faced your dragons and are you riding them?
All of the above, and I think that's what artists are doing constantly. We might be doing 2 or 3 of them at the same time, right? Well, my current dragon that I'm as trying to master anyways, I'm at the Bristol Renaissance Fair currently, which is the first major Renaissance fair I've ever done, the first major show in general that I've ever done.
Oh, okay.
I get thousands of people every weekend, and the sales are doing well for the most part. We've had some weird weekends where we're starting to feel the effects of climate change in terms of the shows. The wildfire smoke from Canada came down and canceled the weekend. Oof. Bristol never cancels. So that is part of
a big deal.
Part of a dragon that I'm fighting as well, not just riding. But at the same time, too, coming up here, because I live in Kansas City, Missouri. But I'm originally from Northwest Indiana, and that's where I'm staying right now, a little town called Hebron, Indiana. And I came up here, and I try to set up some mural contracts when I can, even if it's a small one. It just gives me something to do during the week to kind of get myself, my mind focused on other things instead of just doing the Ren Fair and that. However, it can be a little challenging, jumping from fair, because I drive straight home from the fair, and it's about a 2-hour drive. So I get home Sunday night around 10 o'clock. And then immediately Monday morning, I jump on a mural project, or I'm off doing something else, And actually 2 of these mural projects, one that would have made up my summer in terms of income, on top of the fair, of course, dropped out.
Oh, no.
I had an agreement with the town near here, and I had all of these concepts, and you guys are probably very familiar with that. You come up with work for somebody, and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to cancel this project," and they don't give a reason why.
Funding ran out.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what about the work I did? Sorry,
that grant didn't come through. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. Hey, Renee. Exactly.
But so I had that. So that's another dragon I've been fighting. It's just And that imposter syndrome comes in. It's like, well, am I not good enough? Because then you see
Right.
I have other friends that are doing extremely well in the mural business. They're constantly work, even though I know that not a year before, some of those same friends have gotten denied on several projects. So it's kind of fighting in your head about this stuff. And of course, at the same time, too, I'm fighting the death of a family member, my Uncle Jimmy.
Oh, sorry.
Well, thank you. About a couple of months ago. So it's been kind of going through that process of grieving, as well as dealing with the grieving of, even though it's not the same type of grief, but of these projects that just drop out from underneath you when you thought you had a stable floor to have. And I think that's a lot of us are dealing with right now. It's even though somebody promised you something, even if they sign something, it seems. Because I was telling you guys earlier, but my mentor, Michael Toombs out of Kansas City, I do a lot of work with him through his company called Storytellers Incorporated. And we have a lot of contracts with the city that we do. We usually work with troubled kids to keep them out of the system. So I'm coming in as an artist, and a few other artists like me come in, and we try to teach the kids creative and job skills. So it's very rewarding work, but a lot of times the government that we work with, and usually it's local, state, and the city government, they will promise quotations, to pay you on time, but then they don't. And that's just something that I don't think a lot of other people, unless you're a contractor, I think that because artists are treated as contractors in a lot of cases.
Yep.
Yes.
So unless you're a contractor and you're working a 9 to 5, could you imagine how pissed you would be if you would get to the end of the week or at the end of your 2 weeks and they say, "Oh, sorry, we can't pay you."
Yeah,
but I worked 2 weeks, you can't pay me? How ridiculous is that? So that's just another dragon to fight. But
and
tempted to hang on.
And that's not just with murals. I mean, we see that in the gaming industry a lot. We see that in the private sector a lot. We see it, all across the board. For whatever reason, artists in general are work first, pay later, or, I'm sure both of you have gotten it at shows where people come in with this great project that they're going to work on, and we're going to do a Kickstarter and we'll publish it and it's going to be huge and then we'll pay you. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I've had too many of those.
I don't have any ideas of my own that, need a Kickstarter and a funding.
Yeah, artists seem to be they look for any chance to deprioritize what you do and what you contribute to the community, and how it affects the community, even though ultimately it's increasing, especially in regards to murals. It's increasing the overall look and appeal of your city. It's like you said, it's helping forge a pathway to creativity for young kids, and also increasing tourism. Like it's like there's I don't think that like people do enough work of the cost analysis of actually how much artists contribute into their communities, because they definitely aren't treated like or valued as much, or certain artists are valued priority wise over others, while artists across the board are busting their butt.
Well, I live in a tourist town, and our little town is 100% tourism. There's nothing else here. And just within the last couple of years, we had mural projects for the Midtown downtown area. So our main shopping district brought in a ton of artists and paid them to do murals on several of the walls, which of course cut down on tagging and stuff like that. And then it's interesting to see all of the photos that get spread around. And I've seen photos pop up on Reddit threads and stuff like that from the murals that were painted here that people are taking pictures of while they're out and about town, which is really cool. So,
and that's nice to hear. Paid.
Yes.
Artists.
Yeah. They were paid.
Yeah. I mean, there's a town here, Portage, Indiana, and they have good intentions behind it. And if they see it, I want them to see this, because they have this tunnel, and the mayor there seems to be gung ho about painting the inside of this tunnel, because it's been tagged for years. It's a den of the underworld, as they say. But which part of the underworld, though, that remains to be seen, because a lot of the world is fun. But anyways, there's a lot of nefarious activities going on in there. So he wants to beautify it up. Understandable. So they're offering to pay for the paint, but that's it. They want the artist to come there.
That's the cheap part.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, but the artists can design anything they want. I'm like,
I can do that at home and then sell the painting for a couple grand.
And that's going to take me twice as long, because you know how artists are. We're like, wait, you're letting me do what I want? oh crap, and then a week
No.
goes by and you still haven't done anything because you don't know what to do. You know?
Well,
But-
I mean,
Yeah.
in some regards, and this may be a personal gripe, but I see a lot of cities try to run their government kind of like a business, and they like to stay in the black a lot. So they're
That's
used to pushing.
very American right now.
They're pushing a lot of these superfluous things off on nonprofit organizations and other organizations that are supposed to keep up the slack with a lot of social programs, tourist programs, things like that, entertainment programs, and things that they don't want to have to deal with all of that. They want to reap the rewards and the accolades of that, but they don't want to have to come out of their budget for that because they want to spend it on like city sidewalks and new gear for the police department and stuff like that. But they don't want to. They don't want to spend it on beautification.
7,000 people and we have a tank. Yeah, the mural program I was just talking about, that wasn't government funded. That was Midtown Association funded. So it's a collective group across the nation that brings Midtown shopping areas back to life.
Oh, awesome.
And so we have a leg of that here, and they were able to get us some grants and stuff like that. But the local government didn't pay for any of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys were able? Was it state grants, federal
I'm
grants?
not sure. I wasn't one of the artists involved, but
One of the projects in my hometown of Hebron last year, we had access to some grants, and there was going to be some federal grants because it was like a $16,500 project for a retaining wall right on the side of the highway. And we had several grants lined up, but as soon as the Trump administration came in, they cut it.
yeah.
And we were told at the meeting, but thankfully the council was brazen enough to find other funding. We had other funding. Plus there was a community member here who was a lawyer, and thank God for him, he donated like a good $1,000 of his salary to the project. So it's always nice to see when private citizens see the value in that. But it's also a shame that we have to rely on private organizations to do that when it shouldn't always be the government. But the government.
Well, that's what millionaires used to do.
Right.
That they used to do that out of the kindness of their heart to fund community and to help.
Or libraries.
Or galleries or any of that. I mean, the millionaires used to do that, as tax write-offs, but it still was.
I have a Carnegie library right down the street from here. So
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean,
hi Renee, hi Elliot. Sorry, I'm just talking to people in the chat.
Oh, you're good. I just figured you were talking to the voices in your head.
Yeah, they were.
He does that too.
But going back to the community and the art, especially when me and Mike when we work together, it's not just us two. There's a whole family of us there, and we have this process called creative placemaking, where we go and kind of like when we work with the kids, somebody like me or various others like me, we go in as professional artists and we teach the kids or the public to paint and work together. So you have all communities come in, and it's kind of like a paint by number, but there's a section of it that's that, and the rest of it is done by the professionals. So you still have something that looks good, and then something that the community can be involved in, and then you have, and a lot of times, a lot of people with different political beliefs and religious beliefs, they're sitting there talking to each other, and maybe they realized that they didn't have to hate each other the whole time, that they had something in common.
Well, there's an ownership there too, right?
Exactly, and that
they feel like they've invested in it personally.
And that is where it stops the tagging. Because could you imagine if some dumbass kid or adult comes in there and tries to tag it, the community would hang them out to dry, and that keeps them. It keeps the walls from looking like shit, because then you have the community that tells a story, which is what we all do anyways, right?
I've always thought the railway should just pay artists to like beautify these rail cars and turn them into
I know, I've seen some amazing tagging on some of those cars. Some of that graffiti is gorgeous.
Especially when you get stopped by a train on the highway. It's just like you get a nice little show.
It's like a moving gallery.
Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of it is raunchy, but it's a lot of fun,
We allow all kinds here. I just got my new heavy metal magazine, so we're good.
I saw one the other day of Bart Simpson with a giant dong. Why?
There you
Why?
go.
But
Rule 34. Please don't Google that. Please don't Google Rule 34.
Oh my gosh.
I don't plan to. Those in the chat, do it. Come on, tell us what it is.
So, what
is this Urban Dictionary site?
Are you a full-time artist? Is that your primary source of income then,
Yes,
with what you do?
Mhm.
Awesome.
Right.
That's the way Carla operates as well. Art is her primary source of income as well. I have my job starts back up in a week, and I get to go teach elementary kids about art and, tell them, no, I will not, draw
Bart Simpson with a dong.
Fortnite characters or Minecraft characters for them.
Please tell me if someone says Bart Simpson with a dong, because I'm gonna.
You would be surprised. The art teachers have a private chat, and you'd be surprised at the amount of art that the kids generate. That they don't know what they're making, but it's very
It's a rocket ship.
Taking a picture of that. It definitely goes on the private art teacher chat sometimes.
Do you ever use a children's whatever they're making as reference for what you want to do? You're like, oh, this was kind of fun. Maybe I can
I've been heavily inspired by a lot of my kids, by my kids.
Inspired.
Yeah, by my kids' imagination. Working around kids, especially I would say from first grade to third grade, because really I've seen it start happening at fourth and fifth, where they get too self-conscious about what they're creating, and they start
the ego comes in.
They start second guessing themselves. But between first and third grade, they don't give a shit. They'll make it. They'll try anything. It's great.
Bad that I've had the devil in my head since I was in kindergarten.
We're trying to get back to that ever since.
We've got these. I've got kids that they just want to draw. We have some kids that will draw. They'll do the assignment, but then there's kids that will always make the assignment about robots, or always make the assignment about dinosaurs, or something like that. So it's always,
that's cool.
It's always, it is. I like to think of it as art, tangentially connected to art. So I'm in that creative space constantly, which helps me feel more creative too as well. I feel more creative at work sometimes than I do in my own studio and house.
Because honestly, I feel the same way when I'm promoting my book, which we could talk about here in a bit whenever we get to it, because I know this is going to be a rabbit hole we just keep spiraling down.
Absolutely. That's how we love it here.
I know.
The amount of artists that have started messaging me going, wow, this is really cool. It's like we're all hanging out in the studio together. I'm like, yes, that's what I want.
The conversation is going in 20 different directions.
Yes.
But my brain can handle it, but I can't.
I think all of our guests have ADHD on some level. We're all neurodivergent.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
As an artist, I just think it's artist means ADHD now.
No, I didn't say autistic. I said artistic. Right?
Yes, exactly. You have an artist. Oh, man.
But
I think my parents would have rather had the autistic.
Too bad. They get what they get. They probably got the version, right?
You get what you get and you don't make a fit.
Who cares?
I could have the best show in the world, and my mother still goes, oh, I'm sorry you didn't have a great show. I know you really needed one. And I'm like, I just made more money in a weekend than you did in 6 months of work. Yes, I really needed a good show. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, being at my show, speaking of kids, they point out, and I talk about my book, and they're like, but what's this? And they point at the map that I created, and I look at it and go, I don't know. I don't say that out loud. But I'll make it up. And sometimes I do a good job, and other times the kids that are, they're smarter than they let on. A lot of kids are. And then they go, really? And I go, yes, get out.
Yeah.
Or
we
the
had
last,
some.
or
We did Norman,
ask for
Oklahoma,
free
and
stuff.
Ellen got to see me poof out because we had some teenagers come in and asked if my work was AI.
Oh, fun.
And I totally puffer fished.
What the fuck did you just
It's
say?
all by hand, dumbass.
It's all by hand, no AI. I mean, I've gotten, I get this asked, like everybody asks, is this your work? And I'm just like, and I'm kind of like,
The whole booth?
all original work by me, digitally or by hand. But sometimes I think they're also asking, did I make the work? Because I know in convention spaces, there's a lot of people that sell other people's work.
Yeah, it's the same thing in the fairs as well. Yeah,
and those are usually like the pop artists and things like that, or you can tell that they're reselling
fan art artists.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and I've seen incredible fan art artists as well, but like it looks like a branded, marketed piece that was like on an issue of something. Like that's probably not the person who made it.
Yeah, because like I really have nothing against fan art at all. Because Alan, I think I've seen you do some stuff like that, right? Have you done some? I've
occasionally made some fan art. Ninja Turtles. I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles, and as far as, but I don't sell pop art. Like I will post fan art and pop art, but I've never actually sold it.
Pop culture art.
When I try to sell work, I usually just sell all original work, or try to sell that. It is hard sometimes because I talked about this on the last post. There's kind of like a nostalgia swing that you have to work against to try to overcome somebody's like to sell original work versus like their connection with a character, because their connection with the character is like deep-seated, rooted, and made them feel really great, or they formed a bond or a connection with that character. And it could be Five Nights at Freddy's character or Freddy Krueger or one of these other Freddys that I'm not that I stuck on Freddy now. But yeah, they get stuck on their character that's inspired them. And so our artists who do like original fantasy work have like a little bit of a hill to climb to sell. You got to be a little bit more of a salesman to if the art doesn't immediately get them there, then you have a little bit more work to do.
Well, there's the virality too. I mean, I'm in a bunch of convention artist groups, and I mean, weekly there's the, hey, what's popular now? Because they want to find out what anime is doing well or what cartoon is doing well, so they can create characters based on it for their next show, so they can make their Xbox money. There's those artists that are, but as an artist that's doing that, you're constantly chasing somebody else's tail.
Yeah.
Right. You're never forging your own trail. You're always half a step behind, trying to keep into what's popular.
Yeah, and you're feeding their nostalgia instead of developing new nostalgia for characters that you created or worlds that you created.
Well, there's something to be said about, because we were talking earlier about storytelling and world building and stuff like that. I mean, there's something to be said about creating those concepts for yourself that is, I don't want to say more satisfying, because I don't know if that's the terminology that I'm looking for, but there's definitely something deeper there than just chasing what's popular. Right,
because there's all kinds of ways you could do fan art, right? In creative ways. I got friends that are doing it like an Art Nouveau style. It's really a lot of fun, and it's very creative. And I think, because I don't want to say that's not who you are, because that's clearly who they are, because they like experimenting.
They like the style more than they like the subject matter, right?
Exactly. But in the end, like you said, it's not yours. I mean, you did the painting, it's yours. But the IP, the characters, the story behind those characters, they aren't yours. You didn't create those. And there's nothing wrong with doing the fan art per se, but people, I think, respect, and people shouldn't have to do it for respect of others. Respect yourself. If you want to do it, and that's all you have to do, exactly.
Right. We talked about the ownership of the murals earlier, when you have the community come out and now they own part of that. It's the same thing when you're creating your own work, original art, or your own worlds or anything like that. There's an ownership there that I think touches on the soul level a little deeper.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to get canceled.
we're we're all getting canceled just talking about this.
Yeah. Like, oh, they're against AI and they're against fan art. Fuck those people.
Right?
Not at
We're all poor and none of us make any money. So that tells you something that it's
You
Well, I
use
mean,
AI
no, I
every
mean,
day.
honestly, you get good enough at fan art, and the people who own the IP just hire you, right? They just like
that
they're
is a
like-
way to get there.
they're like, you're badass. I need you to work on this.
Right?
It's either that or cease and assist. There you
Yeah.
go.
Right. You-
Like
You're gonna see a
making a lot
lawyer
of
either
money
way.
that we don't have access to. Could you please stop?
Yeah, and I know. And
I won't draw Disney characters for shit. No Mickeys.
I mean, I'm a whore at heart, so I will if someone will pay me to do it.
we all are. We all are. My mother-in-law was my mentor, and that was
Cash
one of the first
only.
things she taught me is we're all
Thank you.
whores. Yes, if there's enough money involved.
It's like, is that why they
You-
call you Woody?
You
No.
want a Jedi Mickey Mouse? Of course I will draw that.
Yeah. Like, and especially like this guy behind me. I do a lot of stained glass stuff with my original characters.
That is really cool.
I've had people they've never fallen through yet, but somebody wanted like a stained glass version of Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, oh, please have the
Right?
money so I can do this because I would totally do it. But do I like it enough to do it by myself? No. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but not that much to do it on my own time. I got my own stuff I can work on, you know.
Well, and that's
Do a-
and your own stuff is going to
do
make
a-
you more money because
Do
you're
a
not going to.
stained
you can
glass
resell it.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I mean, as I was telling you guys earlier, people at the Ren
Rule
fairs,
34.
Rule 34.
We'll discuss that after the show.
Please, I'm curious now. But yeah, like Space Jesus back here, you know, he makes more money than I've ever done doing any fan art ever.
That's
Now,
awesome.
It took time. Don't get me wrong. And going back to the Comic Cons, I remember getting a lot of people going, "Oh, what's this?" And I tell them, "Oh, it's my original world building project of Alveri, and I'm writing a book for it all." And they go, "Oh," and they turn around and keep walking because they don't want to see my stuff. They want to see Captain America. They want to see Wolverine. They want to see Frodo and Sam. They want to see, you know, Naruto or, you know, One Piece or any of those, but they don't want to see the original stuff. But I hope, you know, and I get that people have what they like, and not everybody is going to buy your work. And it's
well, and definitely the Space Jesus piece that you aptly nicknamed it. Definitely, the pose definitely has looks like it has a little bit of religious iconography, which
does.
taps into that nostalgia as well.
And it does. I like to travel the world when I can. And I've always been into art history. You know, we were talking about that earlier. Whether that was on the podcast, I don't remember because my brain
We talked for about 30
we
or
got
40 minutes.
pretty deep the
folks.
45
Yeah.
minutes before we went live. I looked at the clock and went, "Oh shit, we should go live."
right? So, but I've always been enamored with churches and the stained glass in particular. And I think, I mean, it's just like with any artist, right? You steal like an artist. You have all of these memories in your head that you don't even realize that are there until one day you're thinking of a project and go, oh, what if I made this a church glass, you know, a church stained glass window? And like what, you know, because you always see Jesus with his arms out wide or some sort of saint or some sort of angel, whoever. They're like, well, let's make this a thing. That's not when I'm writing the story.
And that's in public domain.
Yeah. There we go.
Like Jonah and the whale, we're going in.
Yeah.
Right?
And then as soon as you get inside the whale, then you realize it's public domain and go, oh, thank God. All right.
I
You
can't use this.
You make it first and ask forgiveness later.
Right. They built a whole religion around that one.
I mean, Scientology, anybody? You know?
Spaghetti monsters.
Yep.
Flying spaghetti monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, that
May
is
you be touched by his noodly appendages, raw men.
all praise noodle.
It just
Who
kind
doesn't
of
like
makes
it?
me think that there's like a
You know?
multiverse where the flying spaghetti monster and the great pumpkin from Charlie Brown are part of like some cosmic deities.
Dinner.
Oh, you know, that would make a really good stained glass window.
Ew.
That would be.
Get that baby ready for fall.
Right?
the horror in me is starting to wake up now. I go, maybe.
I could do more shows. That would open up a whole new branch.
Yeah.
Wait, is this
So
the same
actually,
art?
so that's a
There's
question.
always
So
another show.
Right.
did you get out of Comic-Cons pretty much completely then, or just doing a few, or because I did the same thing. I dropped Comic-Cons in 2018, 2019
It's funny
for the
because
same
we
reasons.
dropped it around the same time. I think
Okay.
actually not the same time. I dropped it probably a year or two later than you did. I think it was 2021, 22
Okay.
when I dropped it. And 22 was also the first time I did a Ren Fair as well. And
Oh, okay.
And I think I did make money at the last, it was Planet Comic Con, which is in Kansas City. That was the last Comic Con I did in 22. And I grossed $11.
Oh.
Now,
Yeah.
when I first started, my friend Jess could attest to this because we shared a table. That was back in like 2018-ish. I made $30. That's it. $30. Not make up the table plus $30. No, $30. So
Wow.
I did make a lot of progress from there. But even still, I was hitting a wall because every time I mentioned the book, people would go, "Oh, okay, well, I'll come back to you when the book's out." Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
still the art is still here. You know, if you don't like it and you want to give the book a chance, because that's what people would say. I want to give the book a chance before I give the art a chance. And I'm like, not
You
sure.
want the story first.
Right. And I can understand that to a point. But I realized I'm hitting a brick wall here. So I tried KC Renaissance Festival. And in the one weekend that I did that year, I made more money than I did the combined years of Planet Comic Con for me. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
got
Okay,
my,
so how long have you been on the
They
show market?
spend money at Casey at Renfest.
yeah, they do. And I
Yeah,
have my
they do.
friend John to thank. So, buddy, if you're watching this, thank you. Never thought to go to a Ren Fair to vend, but he brought it up. So,
How long have you been on the show circuit then? Just in general, like how long have you been doing shows for?
since 2019, I would say.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
Carla's
I've been
been
doing
doing it for a while.
I've
Hey.
been doing shows since 2005. I started in the Ren Fair circuit, and I was doing local Ren Fairs. And then a friend of mine talked me into doing.
40s.
I'm 32 years old.
Thank you for aging us, Alan. I appreciate that.
That's cute.
We have. I wonder if Nathan's watching. So we've adopted an art baby, who's like
Nathan's our
22,
art baby.
23.
An art baby.
And
Nathan, get out
like,
here.
He's,
You're our
like
art
he just
baby.
had his portfolio reviewed by Magic and stuff, so he's been messaging me all weekend to tell me how excited he is, and we're like, "Yay, it's our art son!" And he's been on the podcast a couple of times, and we've done some
cool.
stuff together. But yeah, but no, I started shows in 05, so I was there during the 2008 collapse. But I started in Ren Fairs, and conventions had just started picking up, and a friend of mine was like, "Dude, you have to do conventions. You have to do conventions." So I swung into conventions, and I did really well for several years. Anime conventions were phenomenal for me. And in fact, I held on to anime cons till 2021, 2022. NDK, I think 2022 was my very last convention. And I finally wasn't pulling it anymore. And I couldn't fight against people doing fan art in it. And I couldn't
on the web.
Shut up, Siri, no one asked you. And I couldn't fight against like Tower of t-shirts, right? So you had all these huge vendors that were coming in. And I went from artist alley tables to vendor to 10 by 10 spaces. I couldn't fit in a 6-foot table now to save my life. Like there would be no way I could get all of my shit into a 6-foot table now. And there was a fair jump, but my last Comic-Con was Denver Comic-Con. I spent $1,200 on the booth and I grossed $1,200. So I broke even, not including hotel and gas and stock, but I was like wedged between two, like one guy was doing these 3D scenes from video games where he would do layered paper. And it was like the scene from Mario, but the paper would be layered in it. So you have this kind of 3D effect. And then the people next to me, I don't remember what they were selling, but they had floodlights up. And so my booth was like in this dark hole. And I had a pretty good booth. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I've been doing Norman, Oklahoma Ren Fair. Largest single weekend Ren Fair in the country. They can pull up to 300,000 people in those 2 days.
It was
I
baller.
I had a panic attack. There were so many people. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
They had like an 8-foot troll. It was great.
and that's what I love about run fairs too, because you were talking about, you're not being able to fit your stuff in a 6-foot space. I hear that entirely.
I have a 10 by 20 now. I can't even go down to a 10 by 10. It's really hard.
Because my problem is I'm painting bigger and bigger things. Like this behind me is a 36 by 36.
That's awesome.
And most of my other stuff are 18 by 24s, and make them at least, 20 or 20 by, 28s or something like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And, these rent fairs, they give you a 10, you can set up a 10 by 10 tent. Wait, 10 by 10? And it's $300 a weekend or.
I know, right? It's ridiculous.
Like Bristol, they charge the merchants. Now you could buy a building, which is a whole other beast, but that comes with a whole significant amount of money you can make out of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a timeshare almost.
Pretty much. I mean, you can, unlike the timeshare, at least the building you can own, but the timeshare, yes, you don't own the land.
You don't own the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's more like a trailer park. You own the trailer park.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way to put it.
But yeah, you pay like $3,000 at Bristol, and I won't say how much. I'll tell you guys later on. But when it's in more private matters, but I make a lot more than that at these fairs, and it beats the hell out of Comic-Con because all of the artists are spread out. Whereas Comic-Con, you were stuck right next to him.
You're in an aisle. You're in a whole
It's
section.
nice when you're talking amongst each other. It's a nice to be there.
I tell you what, I miss a
They're
2-hour
paying for
setup.
less
I miss
days
all
too,
of my
right?
stuff.
Same money, less days at a Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Like the same amount of money for the table. Sorry, Carla.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, what I miss about Comic-Con is indoors. You're not fighting weather. Everything fit on a dolly, and it took me 2 hours to set up as opposed to 8.
Right. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about that earlier with Gen Con. Because this past weekend at Bristol, it was raining. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, man, those people at Gen Con, they're lucky as hell for being inside. And I'm seeing videos of rain pouring from the ceiling. I'm like, is this AI? What the fuck am I looking at?
Right? And that's always the first question now, right? Is this AI?
Yeah.
Is this
And
real?
I'm seeing the same thing again and again from several friends of mine at this show. And I'm like, oh. Like, maybe, you know what? I'm glad I'm here. Screw it.
Right?
My tent's not leaking. I'm fine.
Yeah, we were at Silver Sage Ren Fest together. Woody and I were, and it rained that entire week, pretty much the entire weekend. But it's funny because when it was raining, people were spending money, but when it stopped raining, people stopped spending money.
The magic of Ren Fair has washed away.
Right?
It drives them into the tent to stay dry a little bit.
That's
so it's
happened to me quite a bit. Yep.
So
You have a captive audience. They're not leaving. Oh, yeah, no, please stay. Do you want to sit for a little bit? Can I get you something to drink?
Take a load off.
Now they feel guilty and they have to buy art. That's the best ones.
As you hold a broadsword to their neck, come on, take a load off.
Right.
I'm glad you're here.
You want that painting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that was Comic-Con, not Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, people still dress like Anakin and Yoda when they.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
They paid a lot of money for that cosplay. You think they're only going to wear it once?
Oh, right. I mean, we just had. Wasn't this weekend? It was the weekend prior. It was RenCon that we had, and people showed up dressed as Anakin. I'm like, this
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's... I had the friend of mine that talked me into doing comic book conventions. She was telling me about how her first con, she made corsets. She still makes corsets. And she didn't know anything about the con world. And so her first convention she attended, she couldn't figure out why there were so many military people walking around. It didn't matter that it was all like Battlestar Galactica. They were all military uniforms.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny. Speaking of military, there's a lot of legit military people in the Ren Fair circuit. Like, it's amazing how many vets are there.
Oh yeah.
Now, and a lot of them are really good dudes and gals.
I'm a
then
vet.
there's, see, there you go. He's one of them. But
He's got to drop that at least once every episode.
You want a gold star for that?
Every other episode. But I don't ever
proud
put
of you,
that. I
Alan.
don't ever use that as a sales gimmick or anything.
No,
like
no.
That. It's like I'm not
You
buying
do gotta do
veteran-owned artist space.
I mean, hell, Ellen, if you're having a bad show and you got to throw it out a few times, man.
Awesome, Renee. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a weird segment of vets in general in the Renaissance fairs where they get like neo-Confederate Viking shit.
Oh,
It's
weird.
very weird. There's a whole there's a whole right-wing politics shit that's in Ren Fair that is very
redneck Viking Nazis.
It is.
yeah, and it's not as cool as it sounds.
The pipelines for sorry, y'all, we're gonna get political for a hot minute. The pipelines for this stuff is really weird because now there's a pagan to tradwife red pill pipeline too.
Yes,
it's like, no, I've been pagan since
Directly
I was 13, and yes, I drop out
eye?
almost every episode too. But I've been pagan for so long. I'm like, how did you make that connection? It doesn't.
You're casting spells and doing rituals 1 minute, and then the next you're under his eye.
Which eye?
His eye.
Odin's eye, damn it.
Yeah.
Odin's eye, the only one.
I remember, and I was in Bluffwoods, which is a show near St. Joseph, Missouri, that I do every spring. And one of the Vikings that I was next to, he seemed like a cool dude, but I noticed he had a Confederate tattoo on his shoulder. And he was a U.S. Army vet. I'm like, what's that all about? You know? And he goes, well, give it the same spiel that a lot of the Confederate apologists always give. Oh, well, people don't really know the true story behind the Confederacy. I'm like, no, I do. I was a history minor in college. I know how to read documents.
Very cool.
So it's like, I'm not stupid. Now I didn't study the Confederacy until much later after college. But, it's pretty easy to see.
I'm not going to put the losing side's flag on my arm.
Yeah. I'm not going to put a participation trophy on my forearm.
There's that imposter syndrome we keep talking about.
Yeah.
Your imposter syndrome showing.
I just liked the Dukes of Hazzard when I was growing up.
I just wanted to be a race car driver so bad. But yeah, it's the weird, you don't know. And I think, and there's a lot of us Americans who have I think a very unique perspective behind that. Mine, especially, I think, because my family's from Tennessee. So there's a lot of history that I've heard through the grapevine, but I haven't really double checked yet. Part of me, because I don't want to, just because I, from what I understand, my great grandfather was supposedly in the KKK down there. Supposedly, wouldn't surprise me because that's where it started in Tennessee.
Most of my family on my dad's side lives up and down from Georgia to North Carolina, so it's they're more than likely probably. Yeah, I don't want to look too deeply into that tree either.
I was through mentioning Michael Toombs again. He's a big proponent in my life in terms of artwork. But he had invited me on to when we were doing the Black Lives Matter movements during 2020, 2021. We did the Black Lives Matter murals on the streets.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it was all donated. No tax dollars were used for those conservatives trying to use this against us. We've had several of them come in and try to, I was called a
huge corporations paid for this.
And I have a lot of conservative friends too, so I give them shit. But the ones that really try to cause problems will come up and say, well, you're a communist. I'm like, I have a job. I'm donating my time to paint this mural for free, mind you. So it's like, I participate in capitalism. I'm not a communist. And if you are, there's nothing wrong with being one. But I am not a communist, so quit calling me that. Or, you're a Democrat because you whatever. I'm like, I don't vote Democratic. I'm a registered independent in the state of Missouri. You just never know what that means. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but still. But yeah, so it's it's that weird, right-wing manosphere, neo-Confederate, whatever you want to call it, and and Ren fairs. But for the most part, everybody is a family there. They'll do anything to help you out. I just learned recently that there's a whole financial aid package for Rennies who, whether because the fair got canceled that one weekend due to the fire.
Okay.
There in Canada.
That's cool.
And I applied for it because I'm like, well, I'm out of money, so I got it wasn't much, but they gave me a couple $100, and I'm like, if anybody was thankfully I didn't need it that bad, but I needed it for other things. And if somebody needed food for the next couple of weeks,
Right.
that would have got them through. If they
Yeah.
needed the gas money to get to the next place, that would have got them through. And
Yeah.
it's nice to see that there is that sense of community, which I
Yeah.
think we all need to hold on to right now.
Well, and
Yeah,
how many
think those
Rennies
support
travel all over the
systems-
place?
I think
Oh,
those
yeah.
support systems in the artistic communities in general, across the board, could be developed a little bit more. Like we need more of those. And they do have those. Like there's a metric ton of paperwork you got to fill out to get those to get access to that. But like in the rural places, like the places where I'm at, they just that kind of support just doesn't really exist too much, or it's like that, there's not much being done to tell artists that that's available. So
Well, and not just artists, but small business owners in general.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
Especially in the last 12 years, the support for small business has almost gone away. Even when COVID hit, the larger corporations came in and took a lot of the money that was allocated for small businesses because they can afford to pay the lawyers to jump through the hoops, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people that are singly employed or, less than 10 employees were really hurting in a lot of ways. And that's just across the board right now. Is small businesses are kind of being shoved aside and forced into working for other companies.
Yeah. DoorDash, Expedite, all of those other ones, which, I still do every now and then. I have to make up that extra cash. Because as an artist, I always say, keep your money straight if you have to. If you have to do some dark shit every now and then, do it.
Right.
if you gotta make some furry art, do it.
Yeah, stand on the corner. Who cares?
Right?
What? Hang on. Speaking of furry art, here's
Get the nom de plume.
the question of the century: how much would you get paid, or would you want to get paid to do furry art? And I mean the dirtiest furry art you could possibly think of.
For me, probably it would be pretty pricey because I wouldn't want to draw it to begin with. So, and you know what the problem is? They would probably pay it. I'd put like a $250 commission price on it, and they'd probably pay it.
Oh,
I'm thinking 12 to 15.
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm thinking like 15 to 3.
There you go. Yep. And I wouldn't be doing furry art. I'd be doing.
I'm going to be getting emails now.
Got to do that scaly stuff.
Oh yeah.
And actually, well, and so that just came
You'd be
up.
surprised what some of the guys asked me to draw in the Army. Okay. I was working
Rule
for
34.
cigarette money
Again,
back
we'll
then.
talk about it later.
Quit it now. I'm curious.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. It's funny because we had a clip just go viral, quasi-viral recently from the podcast where I was talking about the convention bubble popping and cons not doing as well as they used to be. And furry cons came up in the comments, and Alan had to actually kind of curb it a little bit because the comment was for all furry cons are sex clubs. And it's like, no, they're not. They're furries are not.
Whatever two consenting adults do on their own time, that's their business. But it doesn't necessarily make it a club with a membership.
I would, yeah, I would argue that Ren fairs are more sex clubs than.
Yes.
What goes on behind the scenes? I've seen so many polyamorous relationships go between cast members. It's ridiculous.
Man, I need to get into the Ren Club more.
Come on in, Alan. It's a lot of
fun.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Well, I'll have to pay
I could
for
see
those.
OnlyFans with you too. I'd be in it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Got to get you some little raccoon tails so you know what you're willing to do. See? You have been on the Ren circuit for a little bit, haven't you?
Oh no.
We're definitely going to have to put an explicit warning on this episode.
Sorry, guys. We're having a little more fun this time.
Hang on. What was that T-shirt idea we were talking about earlier? Oh, see, I need to write this.
Oh,
down.
if you can't finish it, yeah.
Oh, come on, finish it. Finish it.
Do it, Carla.
Finish it.
If you can't finish a painting, you can't finish your wife.
Oh!
It was in regards to AI bros, but you know.
Oh, we've had some singers on here that were like "Crit Me Harder, Daddy." That was
Hey, that's all me, bitch. Step off.
That
is mine.
I think we need it in the store. I think
it's funny because the clips seem to favor things I say. So at one point it spit out a clip that was like, "You're in my world now, bitch." Like that was just me telling Alan, like, "You're in my world now, bitch." And that was like the whole clip.
You're in my world now, bitch.
That's something I could say to people since I am doing the world building, right?
See, there you go.
Yeah, Carla. I think Carla is similar. I would consider right now Carla to be like your mentor, Michael Toombs. Carla has been mentoring me in Renaissance fairs and doing
cool.
different shows. So yeah, she's helped my artwork level up and help my show presence level up quite a bit. So very appreciative of that.
You know, when you do paint and draw.
Yeah,
occasionally. I'm the pretend artist on this podcast. She's a real artist.
I don't know if that was a shot at the AI people, but that's what I was going for. It's like,
yeah, of course. Of course.
Art has already been democratized, everybody. Does nothing.
Right? Absolutely. Well, and you were talking
fully
about doing
democratized. It's for free. It's out there.
There's YouTube channels, hundreds of them. Look it up.
Right?
You can just take it. It's like fruit growing on a tree.
If it's on the internet, it's free to grab. No,
Doesn't
please
make
don't
you
do that.
any less of a dick when you use it, though.
Please don't grab my titty, okay? I don't appreciate it.
I do not consent. But yeah, so you were talking about like having to do DoorDash occasionally too. Yeah, I work one day a week in a local bookstore that I worked in for 10 years and then quit. And then the economy being what it is now, I've had to go back to 1 day a week. And it's enough to cover, you know, the majority of the house bills or to help boost, you know, the spouse's house, you know, being able to pay that. But because shows have just, I mean, I'm probably making a third this year what I have in the past at shows. It's just been that low. And with the gas and the economy and people are scared all the time. And right. And that's where they want us. They want us scared all the time. And that is a method of control. So people are worried about spending.
And honestly, it's hard not to be, right?
Oh, completely.
Everybody here around here is one accident away from being bankrupt. You know, most Americans don't even have $1,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
Some even 500 in the bank.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that are just coasting off of $2, and I'm like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, I think
I just had a good Kickstarter, so I'm okay for the moment.
Most Americans are probably 2 bad decisions or 2 bad days away from being, you know, on the streets.
Well, and that's scary because every time I log into Facebook, I have more friends that are like, yeah, I have to throw in the towel. I just can't do this anymore.
And it's so shameful too to see that because, you know, there's so many. I hate the word talented because
no, me too.
But
skilled,
it's the word we conjure up as a as a placeholder. But there's a lot of really creative people out there that have a lot to show and a lot to tell. Speaking of storytelling, but they can't because they can't go. You know, they have to go out and work a 9 to 5, and sometimes 3 to 11s or whatever it is, and they're so exhausted. And I always try, and that's what I did when I was younger. It's easier to do it when you're younger to work a full-time job and go home and draw. I
did for years.
Yeah,
me too.
When the older you get, the more tired you are, and you might still get some time in, but maybe it's only 5 minutes. And in the end, you're still getting that art in, but people like us, creatives, need more time.
Yeah.
That's why Leonardo, Michelangelo, Gentileschi, all of those people were able to do what they do. They still had to follow the clients. Although, if you guys know who Ken Burns is? Are you familiar with the Ken Burns documentaries? He had that one he was real famous for, but he has a ton of others. He did one on Leonardo da Vinci here recently.
Ooh.
And did that come out? Okay, so I saw the announcement for it. I didn't realize it had come out yet. Sweet. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, so if you have PBS at Passport, it's worth the $5 a month because there's a ton of content on there you guys can watch.
Yeah.
But that man did not. He was an artist through and through. He did not finish his shit, which You know what's funny? It was funny because what did we talk about? If you can't finish a painting, you can't finish your wife.
Right.
Well, I don't think he did because he was gay.
That's a good point.
But I mean, regardless, like he literally he would start a painting for the city of Florence and then fuck off to France and then
He was notorious in his younger days for it. Yeah.
Oh man, he would just fuck off to anywhere, and then the next client would be more powerful than the last. And then when the client's like, "Hey, you signed a contract, you need to pay this," and he goes, and put Daddy King in front of him, and then he goes, "Oh no, he belongs to me now." And then he goes, "Yep, I'll see you in France," whatever. And
Oh man,
they're still beholden to that client, but they had the time to invest in their craft. Whereas now,
and it was considered a craft then too. But okay.
Well, when you don't,
I'm going to argue.
When you don't steer the economy into a fucking iceberg and make it to where we are in a survival state instead of a thriving state, I mean, they could have just not done that, and that would have been great. Current administration.
But also, here's the thing about art in that day is it was, and we touched on this earlier about production art, illustration versus hard art, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, that was a big thing. Is he had most of his art, especially most of the surviving art, was commissions.
Yeah,
he got paid to do that. He wasn't like fuck all in a studio in the middle of the desert painting vagina flowers for shits and giggles. As much as shout out to my lady. Georgie O'Keeffe. I've been wanting to Georgie O'Keeffe a lot lately. Like, I'm just gonna go to the desert and live in a hut and paint. That sounds like great to me. But they, as you said, they were horse and chasing that money. But the concept of doing heart art and creating from your soul back then wasn't really a thing, because the stuff that he was working on for him was all scientific stuff, right? That's where you have like the anatomy studies and the scientific gadgets and stuff like that. But as far as like just wanting to create, I paint because I love painting this and it's from my soul and that kind of stuff, like that's a fairly modern idea.
And the concept of payment probably was different then too. Like being a patron of the arts probably meant, you get a house and some food for 6 months, or however long you're working on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I would argue too, and I agree with you, Carla. That's definitely a modern term, but you could probably also argue that the heart came from his scientific notes in his notebook. Because why he had poured all of his time and effort into trying to figure out the world. Nobody who puts that kind of time and effort into something is, bored by the subject or uninterested.
Right.
So,
but it fed into and that's how it should be, right? Your hard art should feed into your production art and things like that. It's finding that balance.
It's like the art was fueling his observations. Like he wanted to explore the world and have observations and figure out how things work. And like the art was allowed him the freedom to do that because he was,
Well, he worked at body processing, or he worked with an executioner or something in his early days. He was drawing executions. In his earlier days to start to help. That's kind of what started him working on anatomy and stuff like that.
I think he was sneaking into monasteries and getting the monks to give him cadavers.
Yeah, that was in there too, for sure.
It's a weird dude. I like him.
He was, there's 10
Who needs to pay a model? I can just look at a dead one.
Right.
The early days of YouTube, there was a 3-part series that came out that was talking about Leonardo, that how we all suck when we start and then we work hard enough to get better at it was basically what it was. It was really good. I'll have to add it to the show notes because it's a phenomenal video for the imposter syndrome.
We should
but it talked
about
how bad he was when he started.
To plug that PBS documentary as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not just Leonardo. There's stuff on the Vietnam War. There's stuff on the Civil War. There was one on Henry David Thoreau that just came out. It's really insightful.
I will watch that one. I'm had enough of war for my one lifetime.
I mean, I'm a history buff, so I love watching. I'll watch it over and over. In fact, I have that playing a lot when I'm painting in the background. Because we all have to have our favorite show or maybe our podcast, whatever it will be. But and especially since I've become a writer now for this book, Alveria Ascension, that involves him back there. But
Space Jesus.
So tell us
what's the character's name?
What's
the character's name?
There's got to be a way you say Space Jesus every time I. But this
We're not
guy
quite rich enough for that soundbite clip thing that you push every time something. Yeah, we're working on that. That's next
we need
season.
to get some radio friends. If anybody's got friends on radio,
There
whoever's
you go.
left in radio. But
tell us about your story. Tell us about your story too.
Yeah. So this guy back here, he's one of the keepers or elementals in this world. There are 4 of them to exist. And every 1,000 years, the tribes of Bavaria, a continent in this world of mine, they celebrate what's called Brithis Day, or the lightest day. And it's when the ethos or the elements of Bavaria, and you can see that orb in the corner of that painting there. There's 4 orbs all around. So you can kind of see another one there, and then kind of one down there, and then one right behind me. But they shine their brightest. They're at their strongest. But it's also when one of their caretakers, a keeper, this guy in particular, dies. So it's up to one of the tribes to replace that keeper with one of their own. So this is about, when the book starts, it's at the onset of release day. It involves a character named Verun, his sister Averi, and they're brought into this meeting of the clans. And I know it sounds very stereotypical fantasy, but I promise you, it's not your typical Eurocentric one. There's a lot of Mesoamerican and Greco-Roman.
I was gonna say I went and looked at it. I loved the Mesoamerica, the Central America, and South America. Yeah, that was all really, really cool. The visuals were gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I see there are some things that there's a few board games I had seen that were reaching out into the Mesoamerican theme, and it was very cool to see because as much as I love the Eurocentric stuff, there's a lot of cool ideas. Lord of the Rings. I mean, hell, look how well that did, and I mean, it spoke to a lot of people. But I feel like
does your book have a pronunciation guide?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, awesome. Because that's one of the things I was looking at, and I go,
He's in the bathroom sounding it out.
like it's a
oh
shit.
Yeah. I get
Demons are popping up out of nowhere. We don't know.
Well, is this a fucking incantation?
You're popping a blood vessel down there.
Yeah.
But I get that all the time at Ren Fairs. Like, what's Alveria? And they'll be over there trying to pronounce stuff. And I don't know if you guys ever had these issues at conventions or Ren Fairs where they're like, I wonder what that is. And they'll be across the street. And you'd be like, if you come over here, I'll tell you what it's about. They go, no, thanks. And they'll keep walking.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, you asked.
Yeah.
I did get mad one time and yelled out, why did you ask the question then?
They didn't call a bitch out.
They were like, that's cool. Then just walk off. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just looking. We just got here. I'll be back later.
Yeah.
I love when Carla drops the price on her originals on them, and you just see their eyes bug.
Oh. I mean,
she's like, yep, that's $3,000, and they were like,
it's so pretty to look at from here.
So pretty. Do you think you'll have prints of these anytime soon?
That's what I try to do because I'm like, not everything is $1,500. I swear. Come
right?
on.
Yeah.
I got prints, and they go, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where you want to bring like a really wow showcase piece that you've done to like entice them in and just to show them like the level of the craft that you can build. But like if you're in Joplin, which is a really blue collar area, a majority of people not walking around with $3,000 to buy art.
No, I do layaway. Come on, guys. You can take a whole year to pay that bitch off.
Come on, you can pay your Netflix subscription. How why not pay me instead?
I know. You'll get
as
something
soon as you're done paying for it, I will send it to you. Yeah. And I will send you pictures of it periodically through the year.
Right. Here's your visitation.
Like an OnlyFans for art, only art.
Right.
This will be yours in.
Yes.
But yeah, that's really what I've been doing at Ren Fairs is just hawking Alveria or Alveri. Alveri is the world. So, and Alveri is short for all variation because I'm really trying to pull all of the cultures in there. And I travel the world as much as I can. This year, I had a little bit, I'm still fighting that dragon because I had bought a brand new van, which, Alan, you might have seen it at Silver Sage.
Okay.
But as soon as I bought it, it started having a ton of problems.
Oh, no.
But it's all fixed now, thank God. And I was able to recoup some of that money by doing the Ren Fairs, and I had to take some side jobs. But It was during that time that I had to cancel my trip to Uzbekistan this year. But it's something I don't intend to stop. It's just I'm putting it on hold for now. And if I do make up more money and I'm able to go in the winter, I'll go. But I'm also trying to save up for different business ventures. Like I'm trying to buy a building in Bristol. I'm trying to buy a building in Kansas City for the Renaissance Fair.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's great.
Because
Awesome.
the buildings are more conducive to our work in general. Because we need a gallery. It's all well and good to have a tent, but when it gets wet out, you're limited to inside the tent. You cannot leave your work outside.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some people you can. Some people have behind glass and frames that are very good at keeping the water out, but it's not most people's work. So
those people that have buildings, they can really build up the immersion a little bit more too. So they can really like a good permanent building, they can really transport you to someplace new.
For sure.
It's different when you walk through those doors versus like a tent. You're constantly thinking about like, I need to bring as much as I can, but also I need to be able to pack it up too.
Yeah. In case we got to hightail it out of there because a neighbor's coming.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we covered that. We talked about that with Heather Hitchman too, because she's doing South Carolina, I believe. That's where she owns a building, and she was talking about, she wants that whole immersion, right? She's also world building her own world, Teratov, and so she wants every part of the building to look like, it came from her world. So that's the immersion thing I think is really. There's a new speaking of documentaries. I just saw a commercial today for a new documentary that's dropping in August about the artists of Disney, like Disneyland and Disney World, that create these immersion events.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'll have to re-find it because it like popped up on YouTube when I was watching YouTube. So
that sounds.
But it's a new documentary that's coming out about the immersion process and building it so when somebody walks in, they're in a world as opposed to just seeing it online.
Oh yeah, I want to see that.
Talk about going to school. That sounds like a good one.
I know, right? Yeah, I was really excited. I was like misty-eyed watching it. I'm like, oh my god, it's just the trailer, and I'm already crying.
Well, like I've been kind of obsessed recently with some of these like theme parks. Like people are doing these pop-up theme parks, and they're like building like mini theme parks in their backyard, and they're doing like or they're like doing installation theme park, like they'll get like rent out a building, but they'll turn it into like this fairy tale place. They have animatronic dragons and everything like that.
That's a
even
lot of
even at JomoCon, those robotic dogs. They put a dragon kind of skin suit on a robotic dog, and it just changed. Like it was just so cute. And
well, look at the Halloween props you can get now from the 13-foot skeleton, and you have people that are doing entire horror walkthroughs in their front yard or backyard. I mean, I was we used to do a Halloween party every year, and I was really big into it and wanted to do the whole haunted house thing, and never had the time or the money or the energy, but something that I wanted to do. So I'm on all those boards of converting weird household stuff into haunted house stuff. And I was watching a video of a guy, he actually built a mini roller coaster in his backyard that went through a haunted house type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was up, and then they would come and it was like 4 little cars, and they would ride it, and it was really cool. But it's we have the ability. Well, and I mean, again, back to conventions, when I was young, cosplayers were sewing their own costumes. And now I watch videos with 16-year-old kids that are like soldering and wiring lights and building these amazing elaborate things. And I'm like, oh my God, that we would have never have thought about that in the 90s because I'm old.
They're programming it's like amazing. apple pie stuff into their into their cosplay, and like making
stuff is so much more accessible
wings.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the 90s you didn't have YouTube, and if you did, it was in it was.
Bitch, I'm older than Google.
Yeah, the forums had back then. That's about it. But nobody had full-length videos to show you how to solder or to.
No, you had to go to a specialty school, right?
Yeah,
you went to a trade school and you learned how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is just so much more accessible now, which means that we can do those immersions and those things in our front yards, and it's really cool.
Yeah, a permanent building is going to be really great whenever you can get that. Like those two places.
And I mean, it sucks because Bristol, I don't think I'd be able to do it as much because they have you have to stick with the Elizabethan, Tudor style building, which is cool enough. I can make that work. But I mean, in Kansas City, I think they could get more away with what Pitchman's doing.
Oh yeah, they have a TARDIS in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, so like in Kansas City.
Well, and they were stealing natives and taking them into the Elizabethan area, so you can bend the rules a little bit with your Mesoamerica stuff.
I'm sure I probably could, because I mean, even with I'm sure you guys saw the native stuff I was doing, as you were saying. I called them the Abdigehi. That's the tribe. They're like the merchant class in this world. And at Bristol, at first when I brought it to Bristol, and before I even came to Bristol, they have they're a juried show technically.
Yeah.
You have to get accepted every year, even though you were accepted the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And the first year I put it in, they sent that picture back and said, "Sorry, we cannot allow this to be here." And I think they assumed that was just another white guy trying to, trying to borrow another person's culture. And I'm like, no, that's not what this is. And I had to explain my reverence for this culture and just cultures in general and what I'm trying to do with it. And after doing that, they actually let me in, which I'm like, whew, because when you get a liberal-minded white woman or white man in those positions, they might have good intentions, but they might freak out at every little minuscule thing.
Yeah, this seemed like your initial reaction, like, oh, this seems wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and because there are people that may do those kind of things, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but I think definitely coming from telling stories from a place of respect and reverence for the culture too. I mean, there's definitely we need to make room for that kind of story to be told and for that kind of expression to be had as well.
For sure, and I think there's kind of and I wouldn't call it a problem in Kansas City, especially in the art scene. There's a lot of artists of color that are making it big there right now, as they should, because they have a lot of important stories to tell. But the art scene in Kansas City, and I'm sure when I was briefly in Chicago, it was kind of that way too. It's all based around identity, as it should be in a lot of cases. Yeah. Identity can mean many things, but it's become just that, like identity around race in particular. And my mentor, Michael Pimps, is a black man. He's had to deal with that his whole life. He's been a token black man for a lot of the art organizations there.
Yeah.
But, because people are like, oh, well, let's see your black art. He goes, black art? He's like, I just make art. It's not, it might be black in nature in terms of its, storytelling, maybe.
Or influences, things like that. Cultural, because that's those cultural influences,
exactly.
Right?
And I believe a lot of people, when they ask that, that's what they mean. But that's all it's become.
Yeah.
And it's not become art for art's sake or art because it's telling a good story. It's because, and now shows are set up like to have black artists over here and Hispanic artists over here. And whatever shows are for that, great, perfect. Because we need those spaces because they were left out of the other spaces.
Absolutely.
White spaces for so long. I understand that completely. But now it's gotten to the point where I can't get into any shows in Kansas City because my art and fantasy art in general has always had this problem. It doesn't.
Yeah, trying to do that with dragons, it's a little weird too.
There's a niche and I would say like our fantasy art is culturally like that is our culture. The myths and stories and legends that ended up being mythology is like white culture. Like
dragons are one of the most widely recognized symbols in the world.
That's why I think when we go to a Ren Fest, it's like this is kind of like our cultural event.
I see that there's, especially in Bristol, I saw there was a black family that had came and they were in like an African type of garb, but it was a fantasy style, and it was so unique. I'm like, this is what I like to see. I want to see stuff like this, and nothing wrong with the traditional European armor that belongs there as well. But and that's what I want to do with my book. I want to bring in more of that. I want to bring in more
diversify and
I was an SCA for 10 years, and the things that some of the people did with their armor and stuff and mixing cultures and whatnot was really incredible.
Yeah. And especially like it's so sad. It's not, I guess it's kind of sad because we're so used to seeing the Eurocentric side of things that when someone brings in something that has existed for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, like someone brings in like a Mongolian style costume or something from Africa and it looks so unique. And it is.
Traditional Japanese.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we see that, we're like, oh, it's so cool. But we need to be seeing more of that. It should be normal to see it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's cool whether it's normal or not, but it's sad that we don't see enough of it, I guess is my point.
Yeah, there's a very like narrow vision of what, especially when, as you know, we were talking about earlier with making the cosplay and stuff like that. You have the entire internet at your fingertips to look up anything from any culture, and we should be, especially as artists, absorbing that and taking it in, and putting it in the crucible of our brains and letting it ruminate and spit out. And I mean, I just did a year ago. There was a archaeological astronomy symposium here in Ruidoso that was a week of them talking about Pueblo archaeology and astronomy all the way down into Mesoamerica. We talked a little bit about Stonehenge. There was one speaker about Stonehenge, but a lot of it revolved around Chaco Canyon and those types of places. And it was amazing. How the little tiny nuances in their art that would line up with certain stars and things like that, and how they told time, and what they understood. And they would put outlooks on mountains that would line up with the horizon line, and the shamans would go up there.
Bye,
and that
Renee.
was when they tell you to bye, Renee, thanks. That was how they would tell you to plant their crops and stuff like that. And I mean, it was absolutely fascinating. And those cultures did talk to each other. They were influenced by each other. They did communicate, and they traveled and they got around and seeing those differences. And it was interesting talking to the scientists, because a lot of them, are dealing with pueblos that have been around for thousands of years. And so they would have a Puebloan or a Navajo guide, but, they couldn't tell them everything because the white people don't need to know that stuff. And so the scientists were a little frustrated because there was only so much they could get from, the elders and the speakers, because it's so protected in their cultures.
Yeah.
Well,
And I mean,
even
sorry, Alan, go ahead.
Even our friend Brian W. Parker, he's been on the podcast before too. He has this world building series that he's working on called Nicholas the Maker, and it's a kid series with about like the Saint Nicholas, but it's like a world of these mythological characters where Nicholas is a child of color in a historically, or has been shown to be predominantly at least in pop culture, to be Santa Claus being a predominantly white character for many years. So taking that, spinning it around, and taking these things and showing them in new ways, I definitely think and having new perspectives and new stories, we have to make room for that, for people to express in different ways and change characters, change their look, but also maybe their personality, their genders, their sexualities. There could be a gay Santa Claus. I mean, I am for that story too.
That would be
I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see all those kind of things expressed and made beautiful and made and it has a place for it. So yeah.
Well, again, that ownership, right? When you create something like that, you have an ownership of it. I know. I'm sorry. Today's word of the day is ownership. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we should be widening our lens for sure, and looking at what's available and seeing more. And their studies have proven that if you're a reader and you engage in other people's worlds, it grows your empathy. You have a wider emotional range, things like that. And that should absolutely be a thing that happens, right? We should be widening those doors for sure.
And it's the same thing with traveling. You learn a whole lot more when you go overseas. Or you don't even have to go overseas. You can just go south of the border, and you can learn a whole lot from the people who live there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like I was talking earlier. There's ton of, I mean, I can go 20 minutes in any direction and find Pueblo artifacts and cave paintings and stuff like that from where I'm at now.
It sounds like I need to go to New Mexico.
You did, yeah.
There is a Ren Fair out there, I believe, isn't there?
Well, so Las Cruces had a Renaissance festival that just went under. Don't do the Albuquerque shows. We can talk about that.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested because that's what I've heard about.
Santa Fe's got one.
because I really would like to explore that area more. I've gone out west, but I kind of do what everybody else does. I've gone to California. California's a beautiful place, but I mean, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, those are places I really want to explore more, considering with the world building that I'm doing.
Yeah, New Mexico will either love you or hate you. That's either you'll be like, oh my God, this is the most amazing place ever, or you're going to get home and go, fuck New Mexico. It knows who it wants. And but that being said, I mean, I'm between two major ghost towns. Billy the Kid is huge here. The Billy the Kid saga. He's, Smokey the Bear was found in this area. The actual Smokey the Bear. Yeah. The Smokey Bear, the museum's like 20 minutes from my house. A lot of Old West stuff. But you go deeper and you have Chaco Canyon, which New Mexico is currently fighting for, like crazy, because they want to shrink the area around Chaco Canyon for drilling, and everyone turns around and they're like, oh, they're not going to actually touch Chaco Canyon. It's like, oh yeah, because they're great about making sure that their spills stay in their borders and whatnot.
And the federal government is good at keeping promises.
Yeah,
they're putting a nuclear reactor underground 40 minutes from my place.
Oh yeah. Roswell
Fisher
is just up the way. Carlsbad Caverns is just up the way. But yeah, a lot of ruins, it's just a historically incredibly rich area. Santa Fe is the oldest state capital, inhabited state capital in the country. The Spaniards were here way longer before the English were. And there's a lot of like old churches and things that are leftovers from the Spaniards coming in, and taking over the pueblos. And yeah, it's really just a fascinating area.
Yeah, and I think it's funny, like with the travels that I do. We always talk about, my house is Kansas City is 20 years old, roughly. It will be here, and we always think it's so old, but we always think that Europe or Africa or parts of Asia or all of Asia really has structures that are way older, but we forget about pueblos.
Yeah,
we forget about all of those places. It's like those just as old.
Yeah, my mother lives in an adobe house that I think is over 150 years, and the walls are like this thick because it's an original old adobe structure.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but we should wrap up here soon. We've been going almost an hour
we've been
and a half.
talking all.
Yeah, see, this is awesome. I love when you lose yourself in a conversation.
Absolutely.
Do you want to go ahead and let people know again where they can find you, Woody?
Sure. So the easiest way to find me is just on Instagram at woody-woodward.art.
Cool. Thanks for joining us on Here Be Dragons. Make sure to like, subscribe, and find us on the web at herebedragonsartcast.com. We're on Substack. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, all the things. Y'all leave us a review if you would. If you listen to more than 2 episodes, just hit the little star button. That kind of gets us back into the algorithms. We're about to cross 1,000 downloads. We're getting pretty close. Alan and I have started doing mini-sodes kind of here and there between the regular episodes to kind of discuss our guests while they're not sitting in front of us behind their backs and let people know what. No, I'm kidding.
Just our insights that we learned in Glee.
Yeah. Talk about what's going on in the art news and stuff like that. Stuff that we don't get to on the podcast. But thank you for joining us.
If we ever got sponsorships, we would put it on the mini-sode too.
Yes. Yeah. So if anybody wants to sponsor us, let us know. But great. Thank you guys and appreciate you joining us and have a good night. Thanks.
Bye guys.